During their breakout season of 2012, Upton 187 crew turned heads with their aggressive attack and high level of young talent. They're bringing mostly the same roster back for this season, but with a few twists. Dan Zaleski did damage for 187 as Upton's main attacker in the snake during a year that was hard on front snake players, and Max Traylor did work on the D side, proving that he could hang with the best players in the world. But for the 2013 season, they will be switching sides, with Zaleski now in the Doritos and Traylor as the main attacker on the snake side. They will be backed up by the hardcore duo of Eddie Painter, who is always quick to attack out of the backfield, and team captain and Rookie of the Year nominee Nick Laval. Laval has been heralded by his peers as the best player on the team, and he blew people away in 2012. He's a true beast. If 187 brings the same fire to this season that they did last year, they could start marching up the rankings board and make a name for themselves in the hardest tournament series in the world. LA Infamous was one of only 3 teams who won an event in 2012, and they have most of their starting team returning for this season. Their brash style and attacking mentality has made them a very hard game for everyone in the league. The only player they lost was standout star Greg Sewers, who signed with Impact for this season. It's a big loss, as Greg was a dominant force on the Doritos side. Chicago Finals MVP Brad McCurley's knee is still a question, as is Zach Patient's surgically repaired shoulder. But they have Nicky Cuba, one of the most clutch players of the past 10 years, all-around weapon Damian Ryan, snake specialist Drew Templeton, and the versatile Bobby Avila still ready to roll. Infamous is still one of the top 5 teams in the world, and as long as they stay healthy and hungry, they should be a force in 2013.
Welcome here to the 2013 PSP Chicago Open at CPX Sports. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Chris Lasoy and Todd Martinez, and we are about to watch Los Angeles Infamous and Upton 187 crew play here to avoid getting relegated down to the Challengers Division. Boys, what do you think about this matchup?
Man, I thought Infamous played really, really well the first day, and then the second day they just couldn't get it going. But, you know, they're a very strong team, and they don't want to go down to the Challengers bracket. They were in this situation last tournament, 187. They came out really slow, seemed to play a little bit better yesterday. And again, you know, they just came from the Challengers Division, so, you know, they also don't want to go back down there.
You know, and, you know, with that said, 187 has the opportunity on this field to take it to Infamous right now. Who's going to wake up? Infamous is not a morning team. They're not. Just the way it is.
Well, you've played on the team for years. So, but the thing with 187 is they do have an opportunity here, and that opportunity is though they didn't. Infamous obviously played a lot better than 187 throughout the past 2 days of competition. But right now, 187 has an opportunity. If they step up right here, they will solidify their Champions League spot. And so, you know, Infamous, they need to have a big game right here, obviously. Again, this is very important. If you lose this match, you go down to the Challengers Division.
I just don't see Infamous losing this game at the end of the day, though.
Well, let's check out this split screen breakout about to go down here, under 10 seconds to go. And, you know, yesterday, 187 crew had an awesome comeback to tie up against the Tauntauns 6-6 in overtime. So they're going to need to bring some of that same game that they brought in that matchup to tie it up against the Tauntauns here against LA Infamous. Off the break, Los Angeles Infamous able to get out with 5 bodies alive, and it looks like 187 crew is also 5 strong.
And Zaleski goes into the snake right away. Got Max Traylor behind him. All 5 bodies alive over here on Infamous. Brad McCurley up in the front as Drew Templeton makes his bump up to the tower, but he gets shot on the bump. I think that lane's being locked off by Eddie Painter there on the snake side, shooting that cut through the Dorito side, trying to keep Infamous from attacking that side.
Yeah,
to make Brad McCurley come down the snake against Dan Zaleski.
Yeah, so good matchup here in the snake between Dan Zaleski and Brad McCurley. It looks like Brad McCurley might have caught one cross field. No, I think he's still alive, but better field position for Dan Zaleski. He's just posted up, waiting for McCurley to run him down. McCurley kind of trying to figure out exactly, does he want to shoot cross field? Does he want to engage down the wire? Now he starts engaging down the wire, puts the back player, Max Traylor, in.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Infamous knows exactly where Zaleski is right now. Zaleski needs to get some help from his teammates. Make sure they watch over him. Damian Ryan is watching over Brad McCurley right now as Nick Laval bumps into Dorito 1, and Max Traylor gets one in the goggles out of the snake side corner, and that allows Brad McCurley to come out wide and shoot Dan Zaleski. So good job by Infamous right there to clear out the tape. Oh, but Bobby Aviles bumps a little too quickly, go right into Eddie Painter's gun. Eddie Painter gets a shot in on Aviles, then goes to the big Dorito, shoots a couple shots towards the Dorito side. And now it is just Damian versus Painter over here.
you know, and Painter playing really, really well. Especially, you want him on the field right now in this situation, especially if you're a 187 crew. They're looking really good. They're coming down the Dorito side of the field, and Painter just holding it down. Damian Ryan, you know, in a bad spot right now.
Yeah,
and you see that.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot from Damian Ryan. He's very often the last player left alive for Infamous.
And that's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating, but he's kind of in that position over there. You know, he plays the insert role, and he's able to retreat back occasionally if things get a little crazy, and not scared to reposition. But you know, Infamous, it was a close point. That was a close point. Max Trailer died early for 187, but 187 still had Matthew Derula, Eddie Painter, and Nick Laval alive to get it done and go up one here. So good start for the Upton 187 crew, and we're going to be right back after this.
Ever wonder how your order gets from ansgear.com to you? Using our fast and efficient processing method, your purchase is pulled, verified, and shipped to your door quickly and accurately. Every order is checked for accuracy 3 times before it leaves the warehouse. With your choice of free shipping on orders over $100 to next day, Saturday, or international shipping options, you get the products you need sooner and at an affordable price to get you back in the game. Shop now at ansgear.com.
Welcome back here to beautiful CPX Sports here, 2013 PSP Chicago Open. Make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram and help us share the paintball narrative. Such fascinating stories going on behind the scenes with all these teams. This game brought to you by e-paintball.com. Been taking care of players since 2002, run by serious paintball players. Awesome loyalty rewards program from the guy answering the phone to the guy doing web design. Everyone has played for years. e-paintball.com, all your online paintball needs. So here we go, score 1-0. Upton 187 crew taking the field with Trailer, Painter, Derula. Derula's getting a lot of playing time. Nick Laval and Dan Zaleski.
Yeah, Dan Zaleski doing a good job getting down that snake. First point over here. We saw him, you know, yesterday really getting in that snake a lot. You know, really helped him out in that Tauntauns game. And on the break again, Zaleski goes to the big Dorito. Damian Ryan all the way up to the A in the middle as they shoot the Dorito corner, and they shoot the whole Dorito side for 187. That is going to open up door for Damian Ryan. Here he comes.
And look at Damian Ryan on the run through, just taking out a bunch of 187 crew players. So very fast. Damian Ryan is getting shot at by his own guys. So Nicky Cuba and the rest of the guys are trying to get.
There's a
Bobby
guy that's
Mills.
coming right towards us. Kind of looks like us.
He's got a big skull on his mask.
Hey,
So,
wait, he's
I think-
waving at me.
Yeah, it was Bobby Villas.
I don't know, bro. I just torched him. Forget it.
You know, but like that's been working really, really well for Infamous, getting Damian Ryan up the center of the field. I've been a big fan.
Yeah, Damian Ryan getting himself a 4-pack. The only other player that got a confirmed kill for LA Infamous was Drew Templeton. And it looks like the 4th member of our broadcast team, Lauren Kelly, is down on the sidelines. Let's check it out.
First interview of the day here on the sidelines. I'm with Josh Pike from 187. Josh, you guys are 0 for 4, unfortunately, right now. How are you feeling coming into today?
Pretty hurt, but we're trying to refocus and get our stuff back together and come out and win this so we don't get bumped down again. So.
And that last point that got you tied up, it sounds like a lot of your guys were killed off the break. What is your strategy to make sure that doesn't happen?
We're just trying to make it out alive, play heads up with these guys, you know, just try to hang.
All right, we'll see if they can hang. It's tied 1-1. Back to you guys.
And we are back here, so it's all tied up in 1 apiece. And 187 crew definitely struggled, and to me, I feel like they really started the tournament about 3 points into that Tauntauns game.
Yeah, I mean, they finally started shooting some bodies on the break. You know, for them yesterday, it was really just getting guys to spots alive. You know, they were getting chopped up, kind of like this last point over here. We saw that in their early games on Friday, and it was just, you know, they really couldn't do anything about it. They'd have bodies over here on the snake side, but, you know, really just a victim of getting their Dorito side shot a lot early.
Well, let's check out the schedule for the rest of the day here Sunday, man. The whole reason you play paintball is so that you have a chance to play on Sunday where the winners of the divisions are all decided. So right now we're watching LA Infamous taking on Upton 187 crew. Then we have the Tauntauns taking on X Factor at 8:50. These are all Central Time. Then Moscow Red Legion and Trenton Top Gun Union at 9:40. And then after that, Chattanooga CEP is going to be playing against Royalty. And then Heat and Vicious and Dynasty and Impact. So here we go into the third point here, and it looks like Max Traylor getting shot off the break. So just Dan Zaleski over here on the Snake side of the field to try to get it done, and he makes a move into Snake 1.
And here comes Nicky Cuba in the Snake 1 with him. Yeah, we saw this lineup from Infamous a little bit, you know, past couple days. They'd switch Nicky Cuba, bring him over here to the Snake side. You know, really heavy guns on the Snake side when they bring Bobby, Damian, and Nicky over here. You know, some tall guys too, but, you know, these guys are really good at shooting on the break. They're really good at talking. And Nicky Cuba now is in Snake 2, looking for some help, and Upton 187 has already lost Max Traylor and Nick Laval off that Dorito side.
Yeah, Infamous looks like they are in the driver's seat over here on the Snake side just because they have two back players, Damian Ryan playing behind Nicky Cuba. It's just Dan Zaleski over here. You're looking at that line, and also the Dorito side of the field for Infamous, and there are the players trying to get it done for their teams on the field right now. 16-10 left here in regulation.
You know, on the far side of the field, you see Infamous coming on down the Dorito side. You know, with Nicky Cuba in the Snake, you have Dan Zaleski trying to shut it down, but unfortunately losing two players in the break makes that extremely hard on that far side of the field.
Yeah, Nicky Cuba now looking for an opportunity to come across, get Dan Zaleski, and oh, looks like Lazat's gonna get pinched from the Dorito side. He gets shot in the back on the Snake side. Drew Templeton attacking the Dorito side hard right now, and Zaleski, the last body in the Snake, is gonna get shot. So Cali Rudolph and Drew Templeton coming through that game, pushing hard. Cali Rudolph got into that 50 Dorito. Drew Templeton came up behind him, picked off Lazat and then Zaleski to put another point on the board for Infamous.
You know, and we talk about this all the time, Matty. You know, getting a nice spread across the field. Kevin Cali Rudolph getting 2 Gs, Damian Ryan getting 1, Nicky Cuba getting 1, and Bobby Vilas also getting 1. That's just consistency throughout the team.
Well, I think they're starting to pick it up here. They lost the first point against Upton, and maybe that was slightly a little bit of a reality check. Like, hey, Upton can beat us. They've beaten some good teams before, and now their backs are against the wall, and they have to win this game to avoid getting relegated down. So let's check out 2 key players for LA Infamous, Kevin Cali Rudolph and Drew Templeton. And I feel, to me, Cali's had a really good event.
Yeah, I thought Cali played pretty well. You know, like, but that's the thing with Cali Rudolph is like you can always count on him to be solid. You know, going over there to the Dorito side, you know, he's been getting into his spots. You know, he's a smaller target. He's tough to shoot. You know, getting to his spots. In the last game, got 2 kills, opened the game up for Infamous.
All right, and we're going to be right back with more of this at 187 and Infamous matchup. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back here to Sunday's competition, most important day of the tournament. And next up after this matchup, we have the Tauntauns taking on X Factor. But it's looking like LA Infamous is starting to get a little momentum going here. And you know, Chris, you had spoken about each. It's always good when you're starting to see everybody contribute, because you know at the last event, then the first day it was Damian Ryan and Bobby Vilas doing most of the work, but with Infamous having, and a lot of these big teams have such stacked rosters that if they want to contend and win tournaments, they all need to get on the same page at the same time, which I'm looking to see if Tauntauns is going to do that when they play X Factor in this next matchup, because that's been their big problem too. And that was one of the reasons, I mean, Infamous won this tournament last year, but now they're having to fight here in the relegation game.
You know, on your breakout, you see 187 crew coming out, going to work on this Snake side of the field. They kind of switched it up a little bit, though, Todd, and losing right there. Max Traylor taking the walk.
They try to go hard down the Dorito side. Brad McCurley gets shot for Infamous, but 187 loses, I believe they lost 2 bodies, maybe just the 1 body over here on the Snake side. Dorito corner was getting checked. They went to the Dorito tower, the Dorito corner, and the can on the Dorito side. And Dan Zaleski, the lone player over here on the Snake side, comes into the Snake and goes immediately to Snake 2. But he's going to run right into Bobby Aviles here in a second, as Drew Templeton starts pounding on Dan Zaleski from the Dorito tower for Infamous.
Well, you know, Dan Zaleski doing a great job of shooting and gunning and running and gunning himself into the snake right now, especially up against a gun like Damian Ryan's.
Yeah, well, Damian Ryan has had such a standout year, and Bobby Aviles as well. Bobby Aviles, who's in the snake right now for LA Infamous, and trying to match up against Dan Zaleski, who's been so consistent in getting in there as well.
And Laval comes down and bunkers out Callie Rudolph. Drew Templeton over there on that side with Derula still. Zaleski gets shot from across the field, and Drew Templeton gets shot, but Bobby Aviles is alone by himself over here. Oh, no, that was Lizotte. So Derula should still, no, Lizotte is still alive on the Dorito side for 187. You got Bobby Aviles and Damian Ryan alive over here, but they're widening out the field and trying to put the pinch on Lizotte. And, yep, just not enough space for Lizotte to live over here with Bobby all the way down in his side of the snake. And Damian able to wrap the inside all the way around of that snake side temple. So Damian Ryan gonna go grab another flag for LA Infamous and hang it on the board.
So Damian Ryan, 5 confirmed kills for him, 4 for Callie Rudolph, 3 for McCurley, and 3 for Bobby Aviles. And Bobby Aviles is actually heading into this event, was the Top Gun leader on the statistics. Head to paintball.com, or I'm sorry, paintballaccess.com, and check out all the stats from all the teams. And I'm interested to see at the end of this event, who is it going to be? Bobby Aviles again? Maybe Fedorov. He's been going off for Houston Heat as they've made it into the semifinals. They're going to be playing against you guys, Todd. They're going to be playing against Omaha Vicious, and also Dynasty versus Impact to close out the morning to find out who will be advancing to the finals.
Yeah, can't wait.
You know, and you talked about it. I mean, this is one of those stat-stuffing tournaments that, you know, if your G rating was a little lower, there's people getting 4-packs all day. I mean, we've seen countless times people getting, you know, 4 bodies. We're still waiting for that unicorn 5-body game.
That mythical 5-pack, the 5-kill the 5-kill point. We haven't seen it yet.
Not yet, but you know, like I said, you're going to see an up in G rating without question. So let's go down the floor with Lauren Kelly and see what Infamous has to say about this game.
I am down here with Travis Lemansky in the Infamous pit. Travis, unfortunately, this is the second time in a row you guys have had to play in a relegation game. How are you feeling coming into today?
I mean, no one likes to do this. Obviously, it's a threat to your organization, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. It's 1 point here or there, and you're here.
All right. So, what did you talk about last night that you guys need to execute today to make sure you don't go down to the challengers bracket?
Just getting rid of penalties, quit giving up the big early leads, and you know, we'll be fine.
All right. Well, they are ahead 3-1 right now. We'll see if they can keep it up.
Infamous is looking pretty solid. Other than the little hiccup of that first point, they're looking pretty solid here in this matchup.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's pretty much standard. They got to knock the dust off, so to speak, in the mornings. You know, it's pretty much standard for that team. But, you know, it is what it is. Split screen breakout, 187 on your left, Infamous on your right.
So Infamous trying to get out 5 bodies alive, not able to do it. They lose Callie Rudolph on the Dorito side, and then they also lose, I think that was Chris Sosine trying to get up in the center. No, sorry, Drew Templeton gets shot in that center of the field. So no one on the Dorito side of the field right now for Infamous. Let's see if Upton 187 crew take advantage of. Oh, problem is they've lost 3 bodies. So it's just Dan Zaleski and Max Trailer left alive for Upton out there with 12 minutes and 38 seconds to go. So Infamous with 3 bodies. That 1 body advantage, trying to make it happen here. And looks like Damian Ryan up in that center, and then here comes move.
Oh, nice move right there by Brandon Mayo, coming down to bunker out Dan Zaleski, and Bobby Aviles and Damian Ryan gonna put the squeeze on Max Trailer.
Again, 2 to tango team. Damian Ryan and Bobby Aviles, lone survivors left on that screen.
Those two guys together are such a dynamic combo, you know. And then you throw in Nikki Cuba in there, Drew Templeton, Brad McCurley. I mean, I really love that starting 5 for LA Infamous.
Yeah, and it's definitely been you know, Bobby Aviles and Damian Ryan are just having really big years. But the problem is that it doesn't really matter how well you play personally. You really want, just all you want to do is win tournaments. You know, everyone would probably rather give up a 17 kill game to have, or 5 of those in a row, just to have their team win.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, and unfortunately, it's just they're getting it done, but I think it's just too little, too late. Obviously, they're not going to win this tournament, but I get they're going to come back a little stronger. So we'll come back and see you guys right after these messages from our sponsors.
Check this out. The Imperial program from GI Sports. Get 100% of your paint money back in cash. Sign up, win, paint's free. Take second, get half your paint cash back. Not good enough? How about more cash? Have your team rock our V-Force GI logo grills, get first place, then we'll throw you another $1,000 cash. Second place? No problem. We got $500 with your name on it. It's a total no-brainer. Sign up for the Imperial program at gisports.com.
What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball?
What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball?
Россия — это страна с очень сложными погодными условиями.
Not only is the Spire smaller and lighter than the competitors,
the Spire is designed to take the toughest abuse that paintball puts out and keep feeding no matter how bad your paint or weather gets.
With a true 200 round capacity, it holds more paint as well.
Not only is it easier to take apart, but more importantly, it's easier to put back together.
Find out more at virtuespire.com.
Let's see if 187 crew can pick up the tempo here. They are now down 4-1 against Los Angeles Infamous, and lots of guys doing some work for them. Ryan, 6 kills, Templeton, 2, Rudolph, 4, and Avilas, 4. And on the breakout, looks like they lose Bobby Avilas. So just 2 players on the Snake side. They have Nikki Cuba first to go, right backed up by Damian Ryan. Upton 187 crew losing Matthew Derula, who has yet to shoot anybody in this point. Oh, looks like a penalty being called on Damian Ryan.
Yeah, Damian Ryan felt it on the break. He looked back and just couldn't see it. So he kept playing. Referee came over and pulled it. Gave Damian a minor.
So poor Nikki Cuba is able to get into the Snake.
You know, and I see you know, somebody pulled the horn. I'm not sure exactly. I want to say 187 crew just conceded that point. I'm not really sure why.
Maybe they wanted to see if they could get a point. I mean, they were losing bodies, but I don't know if they were just trying to preserve the penalty.
You know, but you know, uncharacteristic. You know, Damian Ryan getting shot in the pack, probably on the break, losing Bobby Avilas real quick as well.
Damian hasn't got a lot of penalties this year, so but he got one there. And we're going to be right back after these messages with more Infamous versus Upton 187 crew here in this relegation game.
Eddie Painter in 187. It is 5-1 right now with 11 minutes and 42 seconds. Why did you guys decide to concede that last point?
We saw they got a flag. We thought it was a red flag. Turns out it was a yellow one. We were trying to keep as much time on the clock as possible, try and win some points 5-on-4.
All right, what do you need to do to accomplish that and get some points on the board?
We need to stay alive on this D side. We're getting chopped up off the break.
All right, we have 15 seconds on the board right now. We'll see if they can stay alive.
All right, here we go. Upton 187 crew down 4 points. 11:42 left, though. We saw yesterday when they played the Tauntauns, they managed to come back, so it's definitely possible they have it within them.
You know, but the momentum on Infamous right now is really good. I think 187 has got to get up in that center like they were doing, and unfortunately, just Infamous just shooting really good lanes on the break right now, Todd.
Yeah, and they're able to get Lizotte off the break, but no G's off the Dorito side. You got Nikki Cuba coming this way again. And Bobby, Bobby got shot, then Nikki got shot coming across. So the whole Snake side walking off right now. Yep, that's gonna do it for Infamous. So, man, 187, if they can get bodies out alive on that Dorito side, makes quite a difference for them. Running Lizotte up the middle right there on the break definitely helped draw some guns and allowed them to, get out wide, help them turn the corner, let Nick Laval go to work and Matthew Derula. But, the only body to come off, Greg Lizotte, Max Traylor, and Dan Zaleski over here on the Snake side, still working hard, trying to get 187 back in this game. Going to put a point on the board to make it 5-2 in favor of Infamous. 11:01 left to go in this game. time, really hasn't been a factor in a lot of the games out here past couple days. Really fast field, really aggressive gun battling, heads up, kill guys on the break and make quick moves. It's been an exciting tournament to watch up to this point. And, I think Infamous needs to get back to that. That's where they were really beating teams.
So let's look at the schedule here for the day as Infamous playing 187 Crew here. First game of the morning's competition on Sunday at the 2013 PSP Chicago Open. Next up, got the Tauntauns taking on San Antonio X Factor in the Champions League relegation game. So whoever loses these matchups will be bumping down to the Challengers Division and going to be forced to fight back to get back to the Champions League at the West Coast Open. Make sure you sign up your team early for that. Go to pspevents.com. Get your team in the fight. And then we have Moscow Red Legion and Trenton Top Gun Union and Chattanooga CEP and San Jose Royalty. And they are going to be there. Those teams are in the Challengers Division. They're fighting to get back to the Champions Division. The top two teams there will advance. So if they win those matchups, they will assure themselves a berth in the Champions Division at the West Coast Open. And then after that, we have the semifinals. Houston Heat and Omaha Vicious and San Diego Dynasty and Edmonton Impact fighting to see who's going to make it to the Champions League final.
Almost on the breakout here. LA Infamous. Both teams attack the Snake side hard, and Infamous able to get that kill off the Dorito side already. So, and they get one off of the Snake side, trying to come all the way to the Snake. Roberts gets shot. Max Trailer has a referee running towards him right now as Darula tries to fill out to the Dorito corner, and he gets shot.
They're just having a problem on that Dorito side, man. Like they acknowledge that they knew that that's what's happening, but they're still not able to stop Infamous from, beating him up on that Dorito side.
Yeah, well, if you lose that first body early, you got to be 100% certain about the fill that you make. Because Damian Ryan is just sitting there pumping the outside of that lane, and Darula just ran right through it. Damian Ryan, he shot Eddie Painter on the break, and Max Trailer over here off the Snake side, so he's going to get credit for 3 kills this game. Callie Rudolph, again, still shooting people.
Yeah, Damian Ryan looking real strong again. So is Callie Rudolph and Bobby Avilas. Avilas 7 confirmed, Callie Rudolph 6, and Damian Ryan 9 eliminations. So 10 minutes and 6 seconds remaining, and LA Infamous is 1 point away from beating 187 convincingly, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to CPX Sports here in Joliet, Illinois, a little outside of Chicago. And we're watching the first game of the day, LA Infamous and Upton 187 Crew. It's been pretty much all all Infamous, as 187 Crew really struggling on that Dorito side of the field.
Yeah, Infamous doing a really good job of getting that 1 kill right away. And looked like he got, Drew Templeton bounced. Let's see if it broke or not. Shot the guy going to the tall tower. Referee in there giving a throw check. Drew Templeton bounced that guy going out there wide again, but they do lose Lizotte out of the middle of the field. Infamous loses Brandon Mayo coming out to the Snake corner, but Drew Templeton gets shot. So Drew comes off. Callie Rudolph, he's still alive over there on the Dorito side. Damian and Bobby alive over here. So 3 bodies for Infamous. 4 bodies, Trailers, Zaleski, and then you got Darula and Laval over there.
It's a big opportunity right now for Upton 187 Crew. Yesterday they came back against the Tauntauns. in the only game they didn't lose here at the event, as they had 1 tie and 3 losses. So with Derulo, Zaleski, Traylor, and Laval's doing a lot of work for them in the 2 points that they've won with 6 confirmed kills. And Zaleski's in a good spot to try to put another point on the board and pull within 3 here. Bobby Vill's going to make his move to the snake. Looking at Dorito side on your screen right now, and the center of that field. We haven't seen the center much. Damien went up there 1 point, but we really haven't seen the center play much in this particular match.
Yeah, and I'm a big center fan, to be honest with you, on this field. I mean, I think that, you know, it's something that needs to be utilized once in a while, not all the time. Here comes Dan Zaleski trading out with Bobby Aviles on your screen. That was a good move right there by Dan Zaleski, backed up by Max Traylor, still having the snake.
Yeah, I mean, Infamous is shooting bodies on the break, you know, almost every game off that Dorito side. You know, I really feel like they just need to push this snake a little bit harder. They're concentrating a lot on the Dorito side from these snake bunkers. You know, just after they shoot that body, get into the snake and just keep coming down it. Zaleski doing a great job of just continuing to force his way down the snake.
Yeah, and Traylor now, yeah, see, that's the thing. The best players over here on the snake side, we've seen that time and time again throughout the event. They get into their spot, and when they see an opening, they make that move. So Damien Ryan and Kevin Rudolph right now trying to stave off the attack of Upton 187 crew. The 187 crew, they still have 3 bodies alive, so they have a slight advantage, and now they shoot Damien Ryan out of his spot. So here comes, this is the chance. Here comes Upton 187 crew. This is the chance to start to get back in this match. And with 7 minutes and 38 seconds left, there's definitely enough time to mount a comeback.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday. They came back like 4 unanswered points. But I don't know, man. Coming back this far against the Infamous team when it's a 1-point game for the win for Infamous, I mean, I just don't see it happening. I think at the end of the day, Infamous is just gonna, you know, just come down the field, you know, all at once, and just smash them into the ground. But, you know, hats off to 187 to make it a 3-point game, 6-3 in favor of LA Infamous still. But making a comeback right now is Upton 187 crew.
Let's talk a little bit about the next matchup coming up here. We've got the Tauntauns taking on X Factor. What do you guys think about that matchup?
I mean, X Factor went 0-4, but I felt like they played pretty well. You know, they got leads and then just threw them away. Penalties killed them. Same with the Tauntauns. You know, you saw the Tauntaun coach yesterday. You know, they were like, Axel, what happened there? You know, Lauren's like, Axel, what happened? And he's like, penalties.
Yeah.
Tauntaun's coach, what happened?
Penalties. Yeah, lots of penalties back and forth for those teams.
You know.
And right now, Infamous, the 1 point away. But it would be cool to see. I mean, we saw a lot of close matchups yesterday because there were a lot of comebacks and a lot of seesaw battles back and forth. But this has also been a field of runs where one team will go up 2, 3, 4 points even, and then the other team will be, you know, just get right back into it and score a couple quick ones to tie it up. So looks like we have Lauren Kelly down on the sidelines with one of the Infamous players. Let's listen in.
I am down here with AJ Trillex. AJ, this is a really important match for you guys. What do you need to do to make sure you close it out right here in this point?
We need to stay focused here. We watched them yesterday. They pulled it back and tied it up with Tauntauns. So we just need to stick with our game plan and prepare for what they're going to do up the middle and stick off the break.
All right, well, 187 is fighting back 6-3 right now. We'll see what happens.
Can 187 mount another comeback with 7 minutes and 27 seconds to go? On the field for Upton 187 crew is a big move up the center by Damien Ryan is Derula, Painter, Laval, and Zaleski, but Greg Lazakic shot off the break for Upton 187 crew. Just 4 players alive for them.
Well, you know, you heard it best in the background. You heard Travis Lemansky saying, looks for the guy at the middle, and that's exactly what they did, getting a G on the break right away. On your screen right now, 187 trying to hold it together over here for themselves. Do or die situation, 6-3.
Yeah, the loser of this match is going to get relegated, and if this point continues to go Infamous's way, then it's going to be 187 crew finding themselves in the Challengers division yet again, which is where they were at the last event, but able to fight back and earn their right to play here with the 10 best teams in the world. Now a move being made in the snake by Nicky Cuba. Nicky Cuba making his way into the second notch of the snake. So Infamous is stacked up on that 50-yard line right now with a player with Damien Ryan in the center and two players on the Dorito side making moves.
Yeah, Damian Ryan in that middle just eats Laval apart trying to make that move. Damian Ryan is so good at picking up guys on the move. You know, if he's posted one way, you know, looking, probing, and then somebody takes off, he's so good at picking that guy up as guys try to make bumps. But Drew Templeton and Callie Rudolph really pushing that Dorito side right now, putting the squeeze on Painter. And Nikki Cuba gonna stand up, put a ball on him, I believe, as Damian Ryan comes through the middle. And LA Infamous gonna polish off Upton 187 crew 7-3 here in our first match of the morning to avoid relegation. So Upton 187 earned their way back up into the Champions Division. And LA Infamous just punched their ticket right back down to the challengers.
And Infamous, obviously the favorite in this particular matchup because, you know, they won this event last year and they looked pretty good throughout the event, substantially better than Upton 187 crew. Let's look at two key players for LA Infamous here in their victory. Nikki Cuba able to get into the snake and get some work done, and Damian Ryan, just such a dominant player for LA Infamous, ranked 9th overall and starting 94% of the points. So congratulations to Damian Ryan and Nikki Cuba and the rest of the boys from Los Angeles Infamous who earned their right in the West Coast Open. They will still be in the Champions Division. Next up, we have the Tauntauns taking on X Factor. And the Tauntauns, they didn't win a game. They went 0-3-1 with one tie. But I felt, we talked about this, I really feel that that team, once they all start clicking together and get everyone to contribute in the same matchup, in the same match, that they potentially could contend for victories here. They've won 2 tournaments in Europe and beat some really good teams doing it. And they're playing on an X Factor who also really struggled here so far in this event.
And it's very unfortunate for X Factor because they're a really good team. They have a lot of depth. They get up on teams right away, but penalties, once again, taking them down, Matt.
Yeah, so let's look at the schedule for the rest of the day. Tauntauns taking on X Factor in the next matchup, and then the Challengers League teams are going to be fighting for the right to play here in the Champions League. Moscow Red Legion, Trenton Top Gun Union, and then Chattanooga CEP and San Jose Royalty. And then we have the Champions League semifinals, Houston Heat and Vicious, and San Diego Dynasty and Edmonton Impact. And it looks like we have Lauren Kelly on the sidelines with the victors. Let's check it out.
Here on the sidelines with Damian Ryan and Kevin Rudolph from Infamous. You guys just won 7-3 against 187, but I know this is a situation you never want to be in. What were you thinking coming into this match?
This is our second event in a row actually battling for relegation, and it's nerve-wracking and it's frustrating because all the hard work we put in, we definitely think we deserve to be playing for top 4 as opposed to going to challengers.
This weekend was pretty rough for the team in general, but you two performed really well. How do you feel about your performance this weekend?
My performance, I'm not worried about my performance. I'm worried about the team's performance. And, if one player can't win all the games, so that's how I feel about it.
Damian?
Yeah, I agree. It's a team sport. If we have 100 kills and we don't win the tournament, it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, up next we have X Factor versus Tauntauns. That is going to be a good one. Who do you guys think is going to take that?
I don't know. Both teams are playing real solid. I'm going to put my money on the boys from Texas, X Factor.
All right. What do you think?
Same thing. I like the guys from Texas.
We'll see if they're right.
Happy birthday, Nikki Cuba.